Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. Got a product video for you today. We wanted to tell you about the brand new CBE Defy arrow rest. So this is a drop away rest that's just come out from the folks at CBE, and this thing is just built like a tank. First off, the thing you're going to notice is everything on this is metal. There is no plastic on this rest, and it is just really well machined and really well made. It is a cable-driven rest, so you are going to connect this to your cable. In the pack, you're going to get the eggshell clamp so that you can connect it to the outside of the cable. You know, you put this clamp over the cable and then run this cord through it. You can do it that way, or you can do it typical way like I have it here. I have the cord, the draw cord for the rest that goes down and through my downward cable, just under the serving here. So this is going to prevent it. You know, once I am going to get this exactly where I want it, I would tie this end in and make it neater, but it will function like that, and just running it through the cable. So what's new and cool about the CBE Defy? So as I mentioned, all metal construction here, including this launcher arm, which does have a built-in brake. So you can see I just activated that rest, and I'm putting some pressure down here, and it takes a good bit of pressure to get it to go up. What that is when this launcher comes down, there's a brake in there that's applied. That's to keep it from bouncing back up. That's one of the issues that some of the dropaways have, that they come down, they bounce back up a little bit, and then you get some arrow contact before the arrow is gone. Well, this has a built-in brake to prevent that from popping back up. And one of the coolest things here, so as you can see, the launcher can be cocked in the up position. So this is how it's going to sit on my bow when I'm sitting in my tree stand, just leaving my arrow at rest. That's how I'm going to keep my arrow rest in that position. So, and then when I draw back, cord's going to pull a little bit, and then it's going to fire that way. That's how the rest drops away. But what companies do different ways is, how do you get that cocking mechanism? So the launcher will stay up if you draw back and let down. It's not going to drop down just because you draw back and let down the bow. You have to fire the bow for this to go off. So how do they get that cocking mechanism? So CBE came up with an ingenious way that's called the gravity lock. So you'll notice in the up position here, I can cock this rest. If I tilt it forward like this, the rest does not cock. Why is that? It's because there's a little piece. The rest has to be sitting in this position, which is how you'd have it on your bow. When it's in this position, there's a little piece that falls in by gravity so that the rest can lock. It's just a simpler way to get that cocking mechanism to work. It's not a spring. It's not something that can rust. It's not something that's going to be affected by weather or things like that. Gravity is what allows it to function. So it's always going to work. And so that's just a cool feature that we haven't seen before. Then coming around to the side here, we do have micro adjust controls. Love those micro adjust when you're trying to really fine tune where you're going to get that arrow position. You know, here's my windage up here. This is the lock. I'm just going to loosen that, and then you'll see I've got my laser etchings right there. You can see I just turn this dial, and I can move that rest anywhere I want it, just, you know, as much or as little as I need to. Once I get it set, just come back and lock it down. Now it's not going to go anywhere. Same thing over here for elevation. Here, this is my locking screw, and this is my control. Once I get that position where I want, come back and lock it down. Now that's locked into place. And so this rest, one of the other cool things about it is super low profile. So you can see here, I've got this mounted on the Elite Encore, and the rest doesn't even, I mean, just barely a little bit sticks out farther than the cable arm. You know, the cable arm is going to be there anyway. And this rest, you know, where it connects, it is tucked against the riser underneath that cable arm, and just this little piece right here sticks out. So it is super low profile to the riser, which of course that's the trend today in terms of getting quivers and things sucked tight to the riser. We like that smaller profile on these bows, and the CBE Defy will allow you to do that while still being a rest that bolts on to the outside. That's the unusual part. Usually when they bolt onto the outside, we see a little more bulk on these rests. Inside the internal mechanism, you know, we've showed you this, there are ball bearings in there, and I mean, it's just super smooth. There is no stick. When you pull this launcher arm up, you know, I'm twisting it slowly now to try and feel for any grit or any rubbing in there. You just don't feel any of it. It is super smooth. Those ball bearings they got in there are just precision mounted so that this thing just operates super smooth. And as we mentioned, you know, you can put it into the up position, and then if you wanted to release that, you can just flick it like that. You know, if you're not shooting it, you are able to decock it that way. And this is the type of rest where you can draw the bow in that position, or you can draw the bow in that position, and then you'll see it's just the rest will just rise up as I come to full draw. And then as I mentioned, I can let down and the rest stays in the up position. So just a great full functioning drop away arrow rest. Now, in the pack, what you're going to get. You are going to get the Allen wrench that allows you to operate the locks for your windage and elevation. You are going to get a shelf pad. So what you would do here is, you can see I've got the sticky tape on the bottom, is I would put this on my shelf just like this. And so then in the event that my rest is down in that position and I have an arrow sitting there, the arrow will sit in the cup. That will keep it controlled. Of course, ideally, you want the arrow inside there, and then it's full containment, it can't go anywhere. But this is just nice to have there, keeps that shelf nice and quiet. Then you're also going to get the cable clamp, as I mentioned. You're going to get a spare bolt. There is enough room. If your riser, which this one, the Elite Encore, has it, I could, as you can see, add a second bolt there, which then just doubles the security of this rest. If there are two bolts in there, you are not going to be able to get this rest to pivot up or down. It's going to stay locked in place. So you do get the second bolt, and then of course you get the felt material that you would use to cover the launcher arm and to cover the containment bar across the top. That's going to be this piece there. So you're going to get everything you need to get this rest functioning and quiet. All right, so that is the CBE Defy. Great drop away arrow rest from the folks at CBE. Well built, well made, well functioning, got some new features in there that we haven't seen before. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.